Welcome to my If I Only Have 5 Days to Learn Jira Administration, how would I do it? Today is day one, and we're going to be focusing on creating a space. And yes, you heard that right. Projects are now spaces. So in today's video, we're going to focus on all the things you need to know on how to create your very first space and or just how to think about spaces, which were formerly called projects. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment down below if you have any questions. And if you need any help with any of the things we're going to be covering in this video, check out that link in the description. My good friends over at Release Team are ready to help you out. So reach out to them and they'll help you out. Let's jump into it and let's learn Jira in 5 days. All right, so here I am inside of Jira, and the first thing you're going to want to do is obviously make sure you are a Jira administrator, because if you're not a Jira admin, then it's going to be really hard to learn how to be a Jira admin in 5 days. So make sure you are a Jira admin, and the easiest way for you to determine if you're a Jira admin is to simply click on the gear up here, and if you see this Jira admin section, then you're in luck. You are indeed a Jira admin. So now that we confirmed that we are indeed a Jira admin and we can do all the stuff we're going to do, we're now going to create our space. And again, unless you've been living under a rock, Atlassian recently, as of like October 1st, renamed projects to spaces. So I'm not misspeaking. And as you can see here, the UI has been updated. We have spaces. So let's zoom in and let's create our very first space. And so you want to click on spaces, and then you want to ignore everything below, because what we're going to do is we're going to create a new space. And so we're going to click on this little plus button here, which is going to take us to the dialog for creating our first space. Now, Atlassian's kind of smart about this. They want to guide you down a specific path, but you're learning from me, and I'm going to show you the right thing to think about this. And so ignore a lot of what is inside of what Atlassian is presenting to you. I'm going to show you what you actually need to know. So these made for you is just going to be Atlassian recommending things for you. You can ignore this whole section altogether. There's a bundle section over here. I haven't seen anything too fancy, but now that we have spaces, I do see more convergence between Confluence and Jira. And so we'll come back to this in a future video, but for now, ignore it as well. Now, if you're an enterprise customer, you do have custom templates. This is a whole different thing, completely out of scope for this video, but we'll cover that in hopefully a future video. I don't have access to the enterprise version of Jira, so maybe we'll come back to it. Now, really, you only have two paths here. You can either do software development or you can do work management. And what's the difference? Well, if you're a software development team, the software development templates make the most sense. But even if you don't do software development, if you are doing Agile, but more specifically, if you're doing sprints, then the software development templates, and specifically Scrum, is going to be the only template you can choose. If you are doing Agile, but not necessarily sprints or Scrums or story points or any of that, then you can pick Kanban. Now, if you're not doing Agile in any way, shape, or form, and you just need a task tracker of sorts, then any of these work management ones are going to work for you. And I would recommend you start off with a blank space. But if you need a little extra handholding, Atlassian does give us a couple of different templates. I recommend you try them all out. Maybe stand up a different Jira that you can contaminate and mess up and do whatever you want over there. But test them all out so you can see what Atlassian gives you and doesn't give you out of the box. Again, after thousands of projects that I've ever made, spaces, the blank space is my personal preference, but that's up to you. And again, I would only recommend work management if you are not an Agile team. If you are doing Agile project management, then software development, and then you're going to pick between Kanban or Scrum. You can ignore the rest of these. These are not relevant for anything. I don't know why Atlassian includes so many, but we only need to worry about Kanban or Scrum. Now, most teams, if you want to get all of the bells and whistles, if you want to get your full, basically everything, your money's worth of what you paid for in Jira, you're going to want to do Scrum. So I'm going to select Scrum. And then this is basically telling you, well, what are you really going to get? Like, what kind of work types are we going to get? The kind of workflow. And so this is just a little marketing slide, if you will, of Atlassian telling us what we're going to get. And so what we want to do is we want to click on the Use Template button down here. And then the most important question of your life, team versus company managed projects. If you are a seasoned Jira administrator, if you want all the bells and whistles, if you want the full power of Jira, if you want to get your money's worth, your ROI, if you will, company managed projects is the only way to go about this. The big caveat is you gotta know what you're doing here, folks. You gotta know how to be a Jira administrator, because if you don't, then you're gonna suffer quite a bit. But luckily for you, you've subscribed to this channel and you're watching my How to Be a Jira Administrator in 5 Days series, and I'm gonna show you everything you need to know to succeed with company managed projects. Now, if you aren't quite ready and you just want to play it safe, these team managed projects are a good alternative. It's like using Jira with training wheels. It's a little bit easier. I don't recommend it because it is a lot more limiting, but I don't normally use team managed projects. And for the purpose of this entire training, company is where you're going to want to be at anyways. And so we're just simply going to select company managed space. Now in this screen, you get to give a name. So this is going to be the name for and it's interesting how Atlassian hasn't quite updated everything everywhere. We still have project templates here. We still have project over here, but we have space on the right-hand side. So it's always interesting when Atlassian is going through a transition. Keep in mind, we're only 2 days into the transition as of this video. Anyways, you want to give your space a name. And as the space implies, right, you want to give this a name for maybe a product that you're working on. Maybe you want to work on a project that your team is working on delivering. Maybe you got a specific, I think I mentioned product already, right? Or maybe you want to make it team-based, maybe department-based. Think a little bit bigger. Don't just think of like one specific deliverable. Like don't create a space for a specific release of the thing that you're working on or a specific milestone. You want to look at your entire project as a whole and go, okay, so this is going to be like project titanium or something like that, right? So you want to do something pretty big. And then obviously we're going to do company managed. Then we're going to leave the project permissions alone. I'm on the free version of Jira right now, and you can see that in the paid versions of Jira, you can customize your project settings, but we don't want to touch that just yet. We're going to save that for another day. So make sure you come back because we're going to cover project settings on the 5th and final day. So again, hit that subscribe button. So ignore that for now. You can come down. Don't change anything else. You can click on the show more. You can change the key if you want to. This key is automatically generated when you name the space. And it's going to take the first letter of each word that you put in here. So in this case, project titanium is PT, but you can rename or do anything you want here. And once this all looks good, simply click on next. And then we're going to watch a little paint dry as Jira is going to create our project for the very first time. And at this point, you have succeeded with surviving on day 1. Well, almost. After your space is created, Atlassian is going to ask you if you want to connect with your code, with your project pages, with security. We're not going to do any of that for now. Just click on continue, which is underneath my face here. And now we're inside of our project. So again, congratulations. You made it to the end. You officially have your very first space. This is a space that is ready for Agile-based project management and more specifically for Scrum. And so in the next video, we're going to be talking about the next modification, which is going to be our work types. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and come back as we're going to dive deeper into the settings that you get to configure as a Jira administrator. See you in the next one.